ओम ज्ञानातिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारिणे नित्यानंद नमस्तुभ्यं प्रेमानंद प्रदायिने कलो कल्मषनाशाय जानवापतये नमः। नमो महावदन्याय कृष्णा प्रेम प्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नामने गौरतुसे नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा। So, okay. Hare Krishna. So, we welcome everyone for today's discussion on Srimad Bhagavad Gita. So, we are discussing from chapter 2, verse number 42 43. So, in these two verses, Lord Krishna is explaining uh, about those people who are who cannot comprehend the path of Buddhi Yoga or Bhakti Yoga, devotional service. Or in other words, we can say Krishna is explaining in these two verses the mentality of those people uh, who are too much attached to the flowery language of Vedas, means material benefits given in the Vedas. And in this way, they cannot go beyond these material benefits. They cannot understand the ultimate purpose of Vedic literatures, what to speak of following it and actually realizing it. So, so the disqualification for a person in advancing in Krishna consciousness. So this is the disqualification. यामिमां पुष्पितां वाचं प्रवदन्ति यवपश्चिता वेदवादरता पार्थ नान्यदस्तीति वादिना कामात्मानः स्वर्गपरा जन्म कर्म फलप्रदां क्रिया विशेष बहुलां भोगैश्वर्य गतिं प्रति. So men of small knowledge are very much attached to the flowery words of the Vedas, which recommend various fruitive activities for elevation to heavenly planets, resultant good birth, power, and so forth. Being desirous of sense gratification and opulent life, they say that there is nothing more than this. So, clear-cut definition uh, is being given by Supreme Lord, the greatest authority, the most intelligent being. The Supreme Lord Krishna is giving clear-cut definition of a person the person who is of small knowledge, means a person who is having very little knowledge or less intelligent. Who is less intelligent? Who is having a very small knowledge, meager knowledge? The person who desires to get material uh, facilities for sense gratification. Anyone who has the desire to enjoy his senses, and the means may be different. That doesn't matter. It does not make any difference. In the pious, the person, if he is pious person, so the means will be uh, means through this religious performances, or in other words, we can say his means will be the so-called uh, moral principle, on the basis of moral principles, on the basis of morality. But the thing is the same, quality is the same, sense gratification. So anyone who is too much attached to get sense gratification through any means, uh, then such people are considered to have a small knowledge, and then they think like this, that all the purpose of everything, whatever exists in this material world, the purpose is sense gratification only. Even to the point of considering the scriptural activities also, with the purpose of getting sense gratification. So they cannot advance, or they cannot understand the higher purpose. So we started this purport last time, that Srila Prabhupada writes in the purport. The activities recommended in Karma Kanda portions of the Vedas, it's like poison. As fools are attached to the flowers of poisonous trees without knowing the results of such attractions, unenlightened men are similarly attracted by such heavenly opulence and the sense enjoyment thereof. So those who desire to get promoted to heavenly planets, or those who desires to get opulent life, well-established life, full of facilities to enjoy sense gratification. Sense gratification doesn't only mean, let me first of all clarify it, because uh, some of you might be thinking sense gratification means performing sinful activity. So, by the way, this is just a narrow understanding of what sense gratification is. Sense gratification, these sinful activities which a person performs to get the material happiness, it's not even sense gratification. It's a kind of sense gratification, but actually, because there is no happiness, it only results in all kinds of miserable situation from beginning till end. If somebody is having even a little bit intelligence, a little pure intelligence is required. If somebody is having little pure intelligence, he can very well understand that activities of the sinful activities are this miserable from beginning till end, and in the middle only just a very little bit of flickering happiness, illusory kind of happiness one experiences, and that too is actually miserable situation, because that binds the person so much that creates such a triggering situation, impetus, impulse, you can say. In actual terms, we can say impulse. So those illusory kind of little flickering happiness which one gets by performing sinful activity, although most of the time or most of the efforts are just done in to get that flickering happiness, is actually miserable situation for the person. But that flickering happiness which he thinks that this is my happiness, that is also actually the impulse to perform further sinful activity, that generates the impulse, because of experiencing or tasting such flickering happiness even once, that generates impulse in the heart so much heavy impulse is generated, that the person is again and again forced to go and enjoy that sense gratification, that sinful activity, not enjoy, suffer that sinful activity. For example, a person who is habituated for drinking, for taking any kind of intoxication. So when he takes the intoxication, in order to arrange the intoxication, while taking the intoxication, there is misery. But after taking the intoxication, when he is fully intoxicated, for the time being, just for the time being, he experiences some kind of highness. He goes little bit high. He feels like this. That is also illusory conception, and that impulse, which is generated within his heart, it's so powerful that then he's forced again and again, without his will, he's forced to go and have the intoxication. In this way, he practically becomes slave of those intoxicants. So that's why this kind of sinful activities, it's not even the proper sense gratification. But when we are using the word sense gratification, it means by any means, if somebody tries to satisfy his senses, uh, uh, or to give the objects of the senses, even at the platform of mind is also one of the sense. To situate one who tries to situate oneself in this material world, in a comfortable situation, comfort for the body, comfort for the mind, and comfort for the extensions of this body. Uh, Means all those people, all those relationships, objects, or places which are connected to the body. So with this desire, if somebody who does any kind of activities, whether it is religious or irreligious activity, that comes into the category of sense gratification. And because of this desire, the person cannot understand the actual purpose of human birth. He cannot even understand that he is not this material body, he is a spirit soul. Otherwise, it's very simple and logical, very clear cut knowledge that actually we are not this body, we are a spirit soul, we are beyond this material body. Because we took birth, we were when we were very small baby, now we are young, so the body is completely different. And after one becomes old, completely old person about to die, the body is completely different. So in all these phases of life, different phases of life, the person, anybody can see and understand the body is completely different. That means I'm not this body. This is very simple proof. Although there are many other proofs also, because we have already discussed about the subject matter earlier. So we are not going in detail, but this knowledge that I'm not this body, I'm not this mind, intelligence, and ego. It's very simple and clear cut knowledge. But why people are unable to understand this? Because of too much attachment for enjoying some gratification, means too much desire to keep ourselves, uh, to situate ourselves very comfortably in this material. That is the great obstacle. So don't misunderstand me when I'm saying that to keep ourselves, situate ourselves comfortably in this material world is sense gratification. So we don't mean that you don't take care of your body, you don't take care of your career. No, that is not the meaning. But the meaning is that we should understand that this is not just the only goal of human form of life. This has to be clearly understood that this is not just the only goal of human life, or in simple words, we can very clearly say that this is not the goal of life. To keep ourselves comfortable in this material world, in our material situation, is not our actual goal of life. Try to understand this. Although this is required, but the purpose is not this. Just like I'll give you example. Please listen it very carefully, huh? Every one of you. Just like if you have a vehicle, so to keep the vehicle properly maintained, time to time you give it servicing. So that is required, but that is not the goal for which you have got the vehicle. If somebody who has purchased a vehicle worth rupees 50 lakhs, suppose some four wheeler, and what he is doing, he has kept the vehicle in front of his home, and every day he is washing the car, and every week he is taking it to garage for servicing, and all the polishing, everything is doing. But he is not at all using it for any purpose. And in this way, the entire the duration of life is wasted, gone, just maintaining the car. That's all. So, what will you say to such a person? You only reply. You can write in the chat box. I think every one of you will accept this fact that if some you have some asset and you are maintaining it, you are comfortably keeping it, but you are not using it for any purpose, then such a person will be known as idiot or fool. And that is what the same thing most of the people are doing in this material. In the name of, I don't mind, in the name of this family life, society, nationality, and this ism, so many isms. These are all just bogus concepts, material concepts. So many isms are humanitarianism and so many. I don't know so many names they give. Mhm. But this is the same thing because we are not this body, we are spirit soul, and this body is a vehicle which has to be properly used for going to certain destination, and the destination is very much clear in the scriptures. The ultimate destination, or the actual, the only destination, only goal of our life is that we purify our existence and go back to the Supreme Lord, back to the spiritual world, and to develop complete love and affection and attachment only for the Lord. That is the only purpose for which we have been given this vehicle, human form of body, human form of life. Uh, So suppose somebody, in order to achieve this purpose, in order to achieve this goal, we can keep our body very comfortably. We can keep our material situation very well situated. No problem with this. Rather, we should keep. uh, Don't point towards me when I say. I also try my best to keep my body very comfortable. So I do not neglect, but some or other, because I cannot compromise with some of my principles of devotional service. So automatically sometimes it gets neglected. So I'm not at fault. But whenever it gets neglected, I take all the medicines properly. Sometimes I forget, but I try my best. And if the conditions goes little means more bad, then I also go to hospital and get I get admitted there and take full treatment. Very nice servicing happens for body, and then body again work for very nicely for 1 year. So that proves that I never neglect material things. But the point is that if we are keeping our body very comfortable, rising early in the morning and doing all kinds of exercises, following all the diet plan, everything, and in this way we are leading our life and thinking that, oh, I am very comfortable. Although I am 50 years old, but still I can run like a young boy. So what is the big deal? There are so many animals who can run faster than you, who have and as far as the lifespan is considered, that somebody thinks that I'm so educated, I'm so intelligent, I have so much facility, I know everything, I can keep my body fit and sound perfectly, I can live up to 90 years, 100 years without any means problem comfortably. So what is the big deal? What achievement you have got by keeping your body very comfortable for 90 years or 100 years? Because after all, you are going to die. Everyone must die. There are trees and plants who live for thousands of years without getting any kind of diseases. Have you heard any tree getting any diseases and going to hospital and doctors coming to trees and treating him? No. Uh, So there are trees who live for 5,000 or thousands of years, and they also. Uh, okay, one devotee is telling, yes, I have heard. So okay, but not like human being. And even if some other species, if they get some kind of disease, that is also because of our foolishness, because we have polluted the material nature. That's why the animals and birds and beasts and trees, they are getting diseased condition of life. Otherwise, they live very comfortably. Not comfortably, actually. Nobody is comfortable in this material world. But as far as this the so-called comfort which the human beings are trying very hard to get, so it's not very difficult, and it is not very what you can say, means no credit. We cannot give any credit to you for just maintaining your life body very comfortably. No credit at all, zero. Take it for granted. From a spiritual viewpoint, if somebody has taken care of everything materially and not done anything, it's like zero. Uh, Big education, big degree, 1 0. Big name, great name, fame, another zero. And very comfortable, healthy body, third zero. Uh, and good wife, good husband, good family life, fourth zero. In this way, 0 0 0. Uh, until unless until unless you put one, that is, what is that one? That is one goal of life. If we put actual goal of life in front of all these zero as one goal of life, so all the zeros have no value, it's zero only. No value. But as soon as you put one, so immediately all other assets which you might have or you may get, all those will give value to it. Uh, if you have good resources, but if you put one, Krishna is that one. If you engage it for Krishna, then it becomes 10. You have another opulence, another material skill, assets, so you give to Krishna or engage in uh, Krishna consciousness, it becomes 100, then 1,000, then in this way. But without Krishna, without the spiritual life, without actual life, actual goal of life, everything just remains zero. What is the use? So in this way, the person, a human being, who has not understood the actual purpose of life, which is to purify our heart and become elevated in spiritual consciousness, Krishna consciousness, which is to develop love and attachment for Krishna and give up all other attachment, lusty desires from for this material world. If any human being is unable to do it, achieve this platform, this perfection, then in simple words, he is no better than an animal. I am not saying this, don't mind. The Mahabharata says this. He says, Ahara nidra bhayamaithunam cha samanyametat pashubi naranam dharmo hi tesham adhiko vishesa dharme nahina pashubi samana. Ahara nidra bhayamaithun. If you look around the activities which people are performing, they are only performing all kinds of activities just to get this four things. Improved facilities for these four things, all everyone is doing. Eating, how to eat nicely, how to sleep nicely, comfortably. Even though they are unable to do it, they have to take sleeping pills, but still arrangement is being made. So many nice beds, sleep well, sleep well. Big, very branded beds, 10,000 rupees, 20,000 rupees, 50,000, lakhs of rupees. They just waste in order to get a bed where they can try to sleep even after taking sleeping pill. But the dog in the street is sleeping on earth without expanding, without any expense. He is sleeping very nicely. So who is sleeping very nicely? Animal or a human being? Who is eating very nicely? Uh, Human beings who are too busy, especially in the cities like Mumbai, they cannot even get two meals every day. They have to rush so much. एंड वो ऐसे ट्रेन में ऐसे चलते चलते बड़ा पाव खा लेते हैं बताओ. They cannot expect to get very this very hot and fresh food from the hands of their wives because they are also going for job. Zomato, Swiggy, all these things. uh, so eating, if you consider eating and sleeping and mating and defending, in all these four things, all human beings are working very hard to get it, to improve the facilities, but animals are able to do it very nicely. But even if some human being, if even if they are able to they are able to do all this eating, sleeping, mating and defending very nicely, still what is the use? Animals are also doing. That means that, but human being is also animal only, no better than animal. Uh, The dharmena tesham adhiko vishesa. The only the factor dharma when it comes. Dharma means to understand who am I, who is God, what is the purpose of my life, and how to achieve it. That is dharma. Not this Hindu dharma, Muslim dharma, Sikh dharma. This is rubber stamp dharma. Hindu, Muslim, Sikh, all this religion. This is religion, not dharma. Religion means a kind of faith. The Oxford Dictionary explains like this. Religion means a kind of faith, and faith can be changed. Today I'm having faith in Hindu religion. Tomorrow I may say no, Hindu religion is not giving me appropriate thing. If I become a Christian, I'll get more sense gratification. So let me become Christian. If I become a Muslim, I'll get more sense gratification because in Hindu religion, one cannot have means more than one wife. There are many people they become Muslim only because they can marry more than one. So because the opportunity is there for sense gratification, more opportunity for sense gratification. So they may change the faith. So is this religion? No, nonsense. This is not religion. This is not dharma. Dharmam to sakshat bhagavat pranitam. Means the laws given by the Supreme Lord, the instructions given by the Supreme Lord for our upliftment, which can make us completely happy. That is actually dharma. And Krishna says, Man mana bhav mad bhakto madhyajimam namaskuru. Always think of me, chant my name, worship me, offer your homage unto me. That is dharma. This Krishna consciousness is actually dharma. It's actual dharma. So Human form of life is meant for this purpose. And if somebody who forgets this main business of human form of life, and rather instead he becomes attached for sense gratification too much in this life, even while performing religious activities also, if he becomes attached to karma kanda section of the Vedas, then also he is no better than animal. In true terms, if we say, he is no better than an animal. Because in Karma Kanda section, what is explained? In Karma Kanda section of the Vedas, it is said, Apama Somam Amrita Abhuma and Akshabhyam Ha Vai Chaturmasa Yajina Sukritam Bhavati. In other words, those who perform the 4 month penances become eligible to drink the somaras beverages to become immortal and happy forever. What is the somarasa beverage? This is wine of heavenly planets. The demigods, the wine which they drink, that is known as somarasa. So, one who performs Chaturmasya Vrata, and then he can go to heavenly planets and get this branded wine. Even on this earth, some are very eager to have Somarasa to become strong and fit to enjoy sense gratification. Such persons have no faith in liberation from material bondage, and they are very much attached to the pompous ceremonies of Vedic sacrifices. They are generally sensual, means attached to sense gratification, and they do not want anything other than the heavenly pleasures of life. It is understood that there are gardens called Nandan Kanan in which there is good opportunity for association with angelic, beautiful women and having a profuse supply of somras wine. The same thing. What is the difference? The quality may be means this branded quality one may get, but the same thing. On the earthly planet, people are drinking wine and associating with women, having sex. And in the heavenly planets also, after performing Karmakandi Yagya and Chaturmas Vrat, all these things for Karmakandi purpose, they want to go to heaven to drink Somaras wine and to enjoy with the girls, heavenly girls, known as Apsaras. The mentality is the same. What is the difference? Animal mentality. Such bodily happiness is certainly sensual. Therefore, there are those who are purely attached to such material temporary happiness as lords of the material world. So these kind of people, they cannot understand the actual purpose of the Vedic literature, and they become very much attached to Kamatmana Swargapara. Kamatmana means very much sensuous, desirous of sense gratification. Swargapara, they aim to achieve heavenly planets so that they can enjoy sense gratification for means many thousands of years without getting diseases and all these things. And Janma Karma Phala Pradam Kriya Vishesha Bahulam. They engage in Kriya Vishesha Bahulam, pompous ceremonies they perform, and they spend lot of money for performing all kinds of these ceremonies, Vedic ceremonies, Karmakandi ceremonies, in order to Bhoga Aishwarya Gatim Prati, in order to progress towards opulent and sense enjoyment life. So this is the great obstacle for a person who desires to achieve ultimate goal of life. So Krishna is explaining about all these things. Thank you very much. Time is done. We have only 2.5 minutes. So anybody, if you have questions, you can ask. Yes. Hare Krishna.